Hello, adventurers. Welcome to Roll for Bluff, the show where we talk about our ongoing campaign, Bards and Nobles. Psych! We're talking about our special one-shot. It's me, Brandon, the normal DM, coming at you live. I'll be the host for this session since we did things differently, and Sammy over there on the far right was our DM, so we switched positions.
Yay!
So, to my left, for this special, we have Tristan, who is playing...
I played Kralik.
That's not the right name. Go with the right name.
Bill Bays!
There we go. That's a turtle monk. Then to my right, we have Sean, who played...
Yaduvir.
You're an Eladrin elf winter, cleric of the Grave Domain. Mm-hmm. And then I played Ren Goldenrod, a gnome wizard. So, this is part one of this two-shot. So, we did something a little differently than normal. We did an evil campaign. So, it's very unusual. I don't normally play evil people. So, being a player in this, not running the campaign, but being a player was super fun. So, thank you. So, how did you guys feel about, our first session being evil as a whole? And then we'll start breaking down what happened.
Well, I think the biggest thing was when we planned on doing the evil one shot. I think when Sam told us that, she thought we were going to go to the far end of the evil spectrum. She thought we were going to be these bloodthirsty, edgy characters of just mass murder and everything. And I know you and I, since we preached so much about not being edgelords and stuff like that, you and I decided okay. We'll make evil characters that make sense to live in this world.
It's probably not often a DM says this kind of thing, but I wanted a campaign full of edgelords.
You did not get that.
I did not. No.
Because we were practiced what we preached.
So we didn't want to be the edgelord that we say, test yourself, push your limits, role play, get into it. Don't be the I'm so dark and edgy. Yeah, I'm so evil. No, we were we're going to be evil, but with a face that everyone likes.
Right, because where I played a charlatan, so I was essentially a snake oil salesman.
Faker.
I was a faker. So, I'd have this business where I sold Bill Bay's bottles of bountiful benefits. And I would use Bill Bay's, which I have documentation, identification, all this stuff, that Bill Bay's is a person. He exists. He's real with a clean record, and he just sells the bottles. Whereas Kralik is the real turtle, and he was taught this, and he sells his stuff, he's conning people, he's a big con man, and he has darkness to him where he's willing to kill witnesses or anyone who dares expose his cons, but he made sense in the world where he was okay, just gonna work in this town a bit, got some money, move on to the next town, make sure that I maintain a good business.
Good face. Me being Ren, my whole thing was my family business for many, 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 many years was buying and selling and using and abusing secrets and lies and blackmail. So my whole thing is finding those secrets and powerful people and using those to get what I want or selling those to rival factions. And I'm also not above having a legitimate business, so I have the Goldenrod Delivery Company. So we have a front where we actually deliver things. So if you need something delivered and you need it delivered fast, Goldenrod Delivery Company.
You're essentially the mob.
Yep, we're the mob.
Can we get into yours?
Sure. I really had no idea what I wanted to do when I was asked if I wanted to join the campaign. So when we were creating the character, it was just kind of oh, well, I've never been a cleric. I've never been an elf. All right, let's just, ooh, that looks cool. Next thing you know, cleric with the Grave Domain, and...
What's your goal?
My goal is I am basically... I want to spread disease. I'm looking for basically, the T-virus, a little bit of just kind of...
Great.
Dead undead. So, I'm also, I didn't really get into it, during, but I'm also an archaeologist, so I kind of, go on these digs, and, I'm not above stealing from them, but I basically am looking for any hint of, something that I can use to basically further the goal of my goddess, who is the goddess Talona, who's all about disease and plague and poison and all that. So in order to please her, I'm just kind of looking for this, and not above also, I'm also a necromancer, so I'm not above raising the dead, asking them some questions, getting them to do what I want to do, and then killing them again, because I also believe that the life and death is sacred, death is more important.
So it's great. We have snake oil salesman, the mafia, a literal murderer, and a necromancer. And then if you want to talk about our fourth person who's not here right now.
So Kyle is a new player.
This was his first time playing.
His first time playing.
What a terrible idea.
I mean, well, he did good. I think it's a little hard that first couple of times to sort of get into things.
Right, especially if you, for someone to play a first time and then throw them on a stream. Right?
Level 15.
He did very well. I'm proud of him. He played a paladin
changeling
who was an acolyte of Mammon.
Which is
that
a demon.
was his deity. And his thing, was more or less like he had a sort of mask on, which changelings typically have, that was pretending to be like just this normal human paladin. And meanwhile, all this time he's trying to collect souls and spread the word of Mammon, and sort of help to try to, subtly bring down society through, whether it's economic turmoil or just subtle assassinations, like that. That's kind of his general thing.
See, once again, we have snake oil salesman, mafia, necromancer, and a demonic worshipping paladin who wants souls.
Now,
so there's a divide.
I want to say that things worked out, actually, from my perspective as a DM, it was very balanced in the sense that, on one side of the table we had you and Kyle, which were sort of like the lawful evil,
like brains.
Like the brain, and then the other side we had Tristan and Sean, who were like the chaotic evil, and they almost kind of paralleled each other.
Yeah.
Because you two, I know you're different services, but you both are like the businessmen.
Right, you and I have a lot of
similarities.
similarities.
Whereas you and Kyle were both like the acolytes for your goddesses, trying to worship your god, but in different ways. So it was kind of fun for me to see that aspect.
Right,
on that end of
and
it.
you also saw that our characters, with the people who were sitting next to each other, they were connecting with the people that were like that. Because during this campaign, we revealed slightly that Kralik and Sean's character had worked together in the past.
Yvelip? Or how do you say the name?
Yellowveer.
Yellowveer, there we go. Yellowveer. Kralik and Yellowveer.
We had worked together in the past, including at one point we talk about how we've killed an entire town after I've conned them and he's spread a plague, and there's just a town out there in this world that's just dead because we went through it.
And I kind of left that up to you guys because I kind of thought about how do I want to get this party to know each other. You and Kyle's PC kind of had that tie-in with the character who was hiring you. So I kind of wanted to put you two together.
Right, where Sean and I had worked together in the past, where he may have been a plant for when I was doing my snake oil thing, or I would have been a bit more of his muscle for if he's grave robbing. He's all right, you look out for anyone who's going to show up. I'm going to go explore this area for a minute. Yeah. So we had a past. We were, we were kind of friends. We just worked with each other a bunch when we had the chance, and it was mutually beneficial. Whereas, the rest of us didn't know each other outside of the main, person of the one shot that we'll discuss here in a second. You have a connection to him.
Yep.
And we'll get to that in a second.
So the reason why we bring up these knowing now, instead of this being level 1 and we grow with a normal campaign, we're level 15, and this having a backstory where people know each other, where we can get the ball rolling semi quickly is important, because we could have spent 4 hours just forming the party.
Yeah.
But we spent probably 45 minutes getting to know each other and on the way.
Yeah.
Which is good. It was nice for us to move. We made jokes. We had fun. Billy Bay's here, just talked a lot. So, DM, would you like to set the precedent for us?
So everybody had received an invitation from Cathrock Blackjaw, who is a dragonborn artificer, with a cute little dog who's made out of metal.
Yeah.
a metal dog.
Which I thought was actually, as part of his subclass, was the coolest thing ever that he could have that. And he had sent out an invitation to you all, asking basically for you to join him at his home. And he had a sort of proposition for you all that he promised would be very lucrative. And of course, Ren had known Cathrock as a businessman.
We'd done dealings. We had arrangements. I have literally delivered things for him. He has given me some sick swag, like my magical monocle. So that was my way of getting into this, and I think it came out to be like Ren was a good way to establish like a driving force. Like, I know the business, I know it. Like, there's something we got to do. There's a business sense to it. We need to get going. We need to do it. So.
Now, it was he an artificer?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is dope. I'm a
That
wizard.
was my guess of what he was.
He was one of the newer subclasses of artificer, a battlesmith, I believe.
So excited.
Okay.
So excited.
Yeah, which are, oh my god, as soon as I saw this class, I was like, that's it, that's the one.
That's him now.
It's pretty nice. And then as far as Kyle's character, he had met him once or twice in a setting having to do with his god, but we won't get too much into that.
Yeah, because that wasn't really established. Really,
Yes.
It was hinted at, and I questioned it.
Right.
But it wasn't. We didn't go in depth.
Right. I was like, oh yeah, you worship Amon? He was like, I worship a lot of people. Okay, bye. Let's keep going.
Works for me. So I mean, that was a nice interaction. The group got to learn the strong silent type. Also a strong silent type. Kyle was a very like, I don't know you guys yet. I don't want to talk yet. That's also going to have been, him as a player, but also I feel like his character was like that. And then we had you.
Right, because when I came in as the Bill Bays persona, which of course gets on everyone's nerves.
Oh,
right away.
that irked Ren so much.
If I had been a PC in this, it would have drove me crazy, but since I was the DM, I just loved it because it drove him crazy. So it was,
Right, because I came in and I was pretty much like, I think you got the wrong guy. I'm just a good old salesman of remedies. I kept going because I mean, it was one of those things where he's just like, you're talking about killing heroes here. I'm just selling stuff, and
right.
it was like, I think you got the wrong guy. I don't know why you called me. I'm just a salesman, and because Kralik doesn't know that he's aware of who he is. So when it's revealed, it's like, all right, fine. I guess I'll be who I am. And it's like, what?
I mean, Ren kind of assumed because I'm evil. Cathrock is kind of shady. You were horrifying. We had a buff bald man.
So I
and you.
will say that we probably have like an edgelord in the group, but in the best way possible, in that sort of way that I really appreciate, because it's not like that whole like,
I'm a lone
my
wolf.
parents were murdered and now I'm gonna use all this money to become Batman and fight all the enemies. No, you were just more like that.
Meh.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, by the way,
You're
hit you with
done.
some
Yeah.
disease now.
So yeah,
And
Ren
the,
kind of assumed we weren't for the good guys. So there had to be some reason. I was very unsure. I'm still unsure of this entire group, honestly.
And honestly, my character really, other than my goals, really doesn't care about anything. Like, doesn't matter anyway, any which
it's
way.
actually one of his personality traits.
Yeah,
Is
it
it
is.
different to everything?
Completely indifferent. Willing to go along with the plan. I'm like, sure, whatever, doesn't matter to me.
So after meeting and figuring out the job and getting, you out of your shell.
It's a good con.
God. Say that one more time. See what happens.
It's a good pun.
It's a good pun.
Oh my God, I'll take that. So we headed out in a carriage to an inn where we spent the night. And had some good, good right rouses. I was desperately trying to get you to break your Billy Bays. I had, after, meeting you and talking to you and then having you drop it and being like, oh, cool, I can actually talk to this guy now. And then you immediately pick it back up. I was like, please, stop. Make
Kralik
it
is
end.
supposed to be a shadow. So, whereas, Bill Bays is supposed to be the face that people see most often than not.
So, yeah, it was nice in the inn, and we got to learn that Kyle's character likes to have some internal monologues when he's alone. He's very like
I dug it.
we found out his change of name. The group didn't, but players did. Found out his change of name was Idris, and Idris likes to refer to Idris in the third person. And
Nice touch.
which is great. Idris thinks we're dumb. So it was pretty good. I can't wait to in the next session to find out more because he promised when we get back I'm gonna find out more about him. So
Right, because this is where Kralik and why do I any
Yalavir?
Yalavir.
I'm really bad at these names
I'm gonna
sometimes.
call
okay.
you Ya.
Yeah.
Hey, ya!
No. So yeah, you two had a conversation with each other.
It pretty much being like, hey, we've worked together in the past. I know you're focused on your one goal, but this is a little out of my wheelhouse. I con people. I'm not usually here to kill heroes. Do I have, I'll have your back if you have my back. I know we kind of share, the common goal of going out and we work well together. It's like, hey, just friends?
I just kind of raised my eyebrow at friend because I'm like,
Sure.
I mean, whatever. If it
Hey, I helped you kill a whole town with disease. That should count
exactly,
for something.
it's like you've helped me reach my goals. I wouldn't necessarily call us friends, but
Business partners.
whatever.
Yeah.
I sent a sending to my brother who was terrified. So, I scried on him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I scried on him. He was busy at work, doing his thing, being terrified of me, which is great. So, that was good. And then we woke up and went into town.
Oh, before
Yeah,
that.
before then, yeah.
Before I went to go talk to my goddess outside, which that resulted in just
Nothing.
Oh, boy.
Hearing
Gold,
nothing.
nothing.
But I'm like, you know what? Doesn't matter. Used to hearing nothing. Silence,
So dark.
the death of
So-
winter.
so sad.
So emo. I'm basically evil Eeyore, like you said. Like I'm just kind of.
Oh,
Evil
bother.
When we were making this character, I was like, dude, you're evil, you're evil hero. I was
He's
like,
Emor.
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 Yes, Emor.
I'm not necessarily sad. I just don't care.
Yeah.
So I may or may not have purposely bumped into someone who was also staying at the inn, and cast contagion on them. Basically, I was just like, I'm just gonna give you some sickness or whatever. And I chose from. I actually had a list of a couple, but I decided to give him seizure because that was the least likely to cause any suspicion. He could just
Have a seizure.
have a seizure.
It happens.
It happens.
Totally,
I could've-
normally.
Kind of rare in a super young,
Man.
otherwise healthy man, but
I mean,
It happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
I very well could have made him just kind of start profusely flowing blood. I thought that would be suspicious. So
Yeah, you're still terrifying.
you know.
I love it.
Ren is not a fan of most of the party.
Right. Well, this is one of those things where it definitely seemed like we were like in a kind of abstract way we were the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Because you have a paladin who was all about conquest, so he was war. We had pestilence spreading disease. I'm famine because I'm robbing people blind, leaving them with nothing. And then
I'm just death because
you're the last one.
I'm the last one, and also I kill people pretty good, and they don't exist anymore.
Right. Take away everyone's information, they no longer exist, which is a version of death.
So yeah, that was nice. We had all our little moments, and then we continued on the next day. Still terrifying to do a seizure. Please don't do it on
Because
us.
we were leaving, the guy's like, I can't stop shaking. I can't stop shaking.
And you're just like,
I just kind of was like, okay,
You're like, good.
whatever.
So as you guys left the next day, you got to meet your carriage driver, stable boy.
Yeah, good old
Who
stable boy.
Is terrified of you guys, except for Billy Bays. He's like, oh, he's kind of nice.
I want him to be terrified of me. He has one job to make sure we get to point A to point B.
And for funsies, I had the squeakiest door in all of the inn.
So as we're getting into town, this is where we kind of flexed our brains a little bit because we didn't want to try and find a secret entrance. We didn't want to have to do all that.
Right,
too
because we were
powerful
told
and
there was
too-
4 entrances,
Yes,
right?
there was 4 options you guys could
There
have
was
taken. I
2
had the
main
city
gates.
mapped up. There was 2 main gates, 1 secret gate, and then a harbor entry. So depending on what you guys wanted to do, there was potentially 4 different scenarios.
How hard would it have been to find the secret entrance?
With your guys' insight, you probably could have found it.
We had fun doing what we did.
Yeah, no.
Because
no, it
when
worked out.
the carriage went forward, you pulled out some papers.
I pulled out, we had done No, we didn't pull out the papers
No,
here.
yeah.
We opened the door. You had turned into a...
I turned into his bookkeeper. I also turned you just invisible.
And I came out as Bill Bays, and I was just like, "Hi, Bill Bays. Just trying to run through a town. We're hoping to make a quick pit stop. I got just trying to get through and hope everything's okay, and just moving on."
And these poor guards are just bombarded by Bill Bays just right off.
Bill
the
Bays
bat.
talks a mile
Just
a
shut
minute.
up!
The funny thing is Bill Bays talks a mile a minute, messes up, and just keeps rolling with it. Like, doesn't even care. Like, just words come out, and he's like, "Yep, those are the words I just said. I know they're wrong, but I'm gonna keep going anyway."
And that's half the part about it. You know?
Ren is the opposite. Ren is very calm, cool, collected, thinks about the words he's going to say, so they have the most impact. And you're just rambling on. You're just like, I haven't heard this many words
And this
in
is
years.
where my luck as a DM just
Plummet.
because right off the bat, like my first insight check on this guy was a nat 1, and I'm like,
You led Zeppelin to that. You just...
yeah, it just, and you know what? Honestly, it was all downhill. Like, if it can't get even worse, it was just all downhill.
Right, because from a player perspective, it was just like, move on, like,
Yeah.
fine, come in, just don't cause any problems.
He had become overwhelmed by your babbling and was like, just get him out.
Nice.
Because he looks in the cart and like, that's my good old friend Mr. Moon. He's the muscle, referring to Kyle's character. Because
He looked like a muscly, bald human.
Yeah,
It was oddly charismatic.
right. He's just good looking. And and you were pretending to be the bookkeeper, and you're like, boss, we got
appointment to get you.
we gotta go. Yeah. And the guards was like, just fine.
Just
Don't
get away
stay
from me.
Don't stay long.
And so we made it into town. Using my contact in my delivery service, we found my little office.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where we found Void, who, upon meeting me, was...
Very surprised to see you there.
I had no intention of going into this town. I have a lot of offices that do a lot of delivery. I can just... I own it, so I can just show up.
He had not anticipated probably seeing you for quite some time.
I try and do some check-ins, try and be the good CEO, good general manager, go around,
Right.
do some check-ins, make sure the books are right. To which I found out something interesting, and I loved this. So, because he was acting like very, like, and I was like, what's up?
What'd you do?
What did you do?
Well, it's a business. Things go wrong.
Right. Especially things with cages that were supposed to go on a boat.
See, Ren understands things go wrong. And it's all right for things to go wrong on the public front. The back end needs to be flawless and perfect. So,
Oh boy, if only you knew what was supposed to be in that cage.
yeah, no, I'm going to find out from Derek whenever that happens. So, yeah.
Special one shot. The search for Derek.
So found out that some of my stuff had not been shipped off and did not like that because should have been told. Should have been told.
Yeah, Boyd wasn't gonna say anything for as long as possible.
So that didn't work
Because
so
if
well.
he had found it and then had the shipping immediately expedited, which he could do, he was just gonna.
That never happened. Didn't
never
happen.
happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, yeah, Ren. This was like you guys saw me being like pompous and rude, but this is like the first time that you guys saw Ren be like, "I will hurt you bad." So yeah, just being a good boss. Threatening your employees. Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't overtly say anything. I didn't overtly say I was going to hurt him. I overtly said that something bad would happen, and I gestured a candle towards his face. So I didn't say anything bad.
He's afraid of candles. It wasn't really the candle.
It was the person controlling the candle. I also found out about Derek.
Yes.
We'll find Derek. I'll find Derek. I don't care if
See,
Derek
it's all
messed up.
Derek's fault.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see.
And then he
See,
called out
Ren
sick.
believes it is because I don't believe someone would lie to me, but if I find out Derek was like, I didn't do anything wrong, something bad's going to happen. It's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen to Void.
See,
So-
I just love the joke of, it's like, oh, Derek called out sick, and then we look at Sean and be like, I think we know someone that could really make it a sick day.
I'm like, yes, do you still need this one? Can we...
Come on, Yanavir, let's just get a raw.
I need information from him first, and then you can do that. So, yeah, we found out where the nobles' kids are, and we got pretty lucky with how it worked out.
Did we say exactly what the goal was?
No, so the goal was, first and foremost, was to draw out a group of heroes that was making their way in through the region, actually heading towards that particular city. So Cathrock had wanted them to kidnap the children of some prominent nobles in the city as a way to draw the heroes out of the city and into some place maybe where it was a bit easier for the party to get rid of them.
That'll be fun.
Yes, it will.
So in order to do that, it was suggested that we go to this town and kidnap the nobles' children.
Yes.
Because the Almighty...
Try to attract the attention of the heroes.
Right, the heroes, who we found out were called the Almighty Five.
The Almighty Five!
They were going around the areas just doing good deeds. So it was like, okay, cool. They really probably can't miss an opportunity of
Rescuing kids.
Yeah.
Rich kids.
You know, like heroes do. So
Yeah, what do you want to do with the kids?
kill them.
Oh, I totally just wanted to either
Disease.
just completely kill them or give them some sort of plague, virus, disease, something. Send them back to their parents and have it spread through the town.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan. You shouldn't be a fan either.
You still get a chance.
I might
Hey,
still
if
do that.
if we disease a whole town, they start to die, and he can give me immunity for a little bit, I can go rob that town and make
That's
out
great.
with-
Yeah, sure.
And not only that, but it could be like, oh, symptoms, this person, and, I show up, I've got, like,
Right.
scars and tattoos, and I'm just like, oh, I was feeling so crappy, and now I've
Bill
taken his
Bays-
elixir. and,
Not a fan. Not a fan of that.
and so we get the money, and then we leave, and everyone still dies.
Which is great for them, not good for my business. Anyway, so we get into town, we find the area where they're supposed to be, and we head there.
Yes.
Right.
And then
That's where
Billy
we
Bays and I do some...
That's where we come up to a gate for the dock area, and another guard comes out.
What are you doing?
Because he was on his way leaving, wasn't he, or was he
No,
just?
no,
So
he
he wasn't leaving. He had saw you guys walking up towards the
Oh,
gate.
so he just
was
walked
walking
out to meet us.
you.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was not the brightest tool in the shed.
Great. It was great for us.
Perfect mark.
Yes,
needed
he
help
was.
with his
So
tool.
metagaming a little bit. If you guys had gone through the docks, that was the easy way, honestly.
The docks?
If you
Oh,
had
if we
gone
had like
through
taken a
the
boat or
harbor,
something.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we did
Yeah,
medium. It
yeah.
worked out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had the different ways set up to be sort of different levels of difficulty. So the hardest way would have been the gate to the west.
Oh, thank God. I was like, I'm sure.
It went west, east, north, south. So the south would have been the easiest. The
Uh,
north way that you guys went to was the second easiest.
Good. So,
Cool.
still worked out.
So this guard comes strolling on up, going, "What you doing here?" Now this is before we got up to the gate. This is where you and I, Brandon, worked on something like, okay, we need to get to the docks. What do we say is the reason we're here? Well, I know. We'll say that I'm picking up a shipment from your company. So then we forged the
The paperwork so we can, for the dock, so say that it's on the dock and we have a spot for it.
Right.
And then he rolled a nat 1 on investigation on the forgery.
And also, we bedazzled him with your
Well, because first he was like, "Bill Bays, what are you doing? Like, wait, you have bottles of benefits? What are those?" Like, well, they can cure just about anything, my dear friend.
and he had an issue.
He just needed a little extra help.
He needed something to perk him up.
Nothing wrong with it. He just needed some extra help.
So you gave it to him. I cast prestidigitation to make it.
Right, and I made a point of making sure that it wasn't something that he was going to go home and try and it was going to work that day.
Right.
So that he'd come back the next day and be like, "What the hell, Bill Bays?"
You told him 2.5 drops for 7 days and just rub it on there. Just right on.
Can I say that? I love the fact it's 2.5 drops.
Right? I noticed that when you said it. I was like, what a weird dosage.
Well, that way, if I ever run it, like, let's say I come back to him in a week for some reason, it's like, I did it for a week, it didn't work. It's like, did you use 2.5 drops? Well, I think I used 2 or 3.
Maybe 3.
Did you use 2 3/4 drops? That changes it.
Yeah, as a
You gotta be
normal.
very specific.
Whatever half a drop is.
We made our way through, easy peasy.
Right. So we get to the docks, and then it was just like, all right, cool, we need to figure out where they are. So we had it so that me and Yanavir were off to the side, and I started doing my whole Bill Bays spiel while you and
Even Mr. Wood.
Moonfog.
Yeah, Mr. Moon. There we go. Mr. Moon. There he is.
That's what I
We
thought.
made our way to outside the building and kind of scoped it out and found the kids
Yep.
with a perfect distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Came up with a plan. You guys did some really good job. You were a nice plant.
Sort of.
Sort of.
A little bit.
You had him to help, but you sold it.
Yes.
So you guys did your thing.
We distracted people long enough so that you guys weren't really hindered by searching.
Anybody looking around. We found investigation. We figured out to get the kids out, since we already need boxes to leave the dock, to put them in some boxes and take the boxes out.
Yep.
We found some boxes, did what we could. Couldn't really change up the boxes, but found the boxes, got it set up, got a cart, stole a cart, and we waited until you guys finished and began phase 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, this is where, because you guys had some good rolls for that too.
Yeah.
I got a natural 20 on finding stuff.
And I mean, so like I kind of mentioned on the stream, like every once in a while I might fudge something, just being honest, but I don't typically like to fudge rolls, so when I roll something really crappy for the DM side of things, I'm like, well,
And
they failed.
The way it is.
just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we're doing great.
So my
Right.
rolls were awful.
We had some
Just how it worked
some
out.
demonic luck on our side.
Right, so once you guys had kind of figured out where we need to go and had it set up, I pretty much was like, all right, guys, I'm all out of stuff. I'll bring more stuff maybe another time. I'm here for a shipment, so we'll see what I can do. Bye! And then met back up with the group. So that people were like, they were still distracted, going in another direction, and we kind of went to where we needed to go, which was a small house.
A small little building where the kids are being tutored by an old man. Rest in peace.
Rip.
So I
Many
had him
pieces,
go
lesson
around.
lessons.
You unfortunately did not roll the stealth I wanted you to.
Right. Well, because we observed that we saw at least 2 guards wandering on the backside.
And guards outside.
Right, we saw the guards outside. We knew that there was at least 2 there. And it was like, all right, okay, cool, I'll go. And we saw the kids and the old man sitting out in the yard.
So I wanted you to check to see how many were inside, so we could
Right.
get inside, take control, and get the kids.
Right. So that's where I tried to peek in the window just to see, and the maid caught me.
Yes, the main card.
This was one of the harrowing moments where, luckily, we were out front. So when the door opened, I was like, message like, "Hey, got company, watch out."
And this is again where Bill Bays comes to do a great thing. Where again he plays it all. He's like, "Hey, we're looking for stuff, and I think I scared your young friend in there. It's totally okay. What's going on? We're just looking for some stuff." And of course, the guard that greets us is a big.
Yeah, what was he?
He was like a human knight.
He was
He
just
was
a big
gruff?
human dude.
Yeah, he was just a big, gruff, dumb dude.
Well, he dead.
Yeah, he dead now.
But of
Very
course,
dead.
he meets me at the door, and he's like, "There's nothing here," or in less words than that.
No package. Leave now.
I actually did rolls for him, and his intelligence not high.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Leave now.
So
Dunga dunga.
yeah, that's where we came back and was like, all right, there's at least one big dude inside and a maid. We could try to go through the door.
And so I had you and Mr. Moon go in.
Right, as
So
the
you
hard
guys
hitters.
could be like, "Hey, we're pretty sure there's a package here, and if there's any resistance, you guys could do your thing."
Right, and
Boy,
that's
how did
exactly,
that not go well?
that went exactly that way. We knocked on the door again, and then this time the maid answered, and I apologized, like, "Sorry for spooking you." Well, pretty much was like, "We're here to pick up something." I know the guard said it wasn't here, but we're hearing that the tutor might actually have picked it up for some reason. I claimed that he was an old client, and the maid was, and I think it was like deception, and she just barely believed me, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
She was sketchy on you, so she went and got the guard again.
Yeah.
And so you tried to,
Do more deception.
which,
I think he just barely got over
Just
it.
barely.
so Kyle had a plan. If you failed, to then be intimidating and be like, "We're going to check the premises to see what we can find, like see if it's here." But fate had other words, and by fate I mean Billy had other words.
Because this is where you really start to see, because everything else that Billy has done so far, you would believe that he was a bard, first and foremost, as his class. But this is where you find out that he's a monk. And he's a drunken-style monk. Because I played off where I accidentally, like, "Oh no, I've tripped," and then I stun strike him.
Which just, you punched him. You could say that you tripped, but there's a difference between tripping and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then tripping and having your knuckle in a way where you hit a nerve and the guy goes,
Yeah.
I've never seen someone trip and then the person they hit goes, "Ah, I can't move anything" for 6 seconds. So Immediately when you did that, I was like, I guess I'm doing this. I cast Melf Meteors and I just shot him twice because he failed his deck check.
Yep.
So yeah, boom, boom, just a bunch of D6s right into the chest. God, I can't. I was like, okay, we're doing this now. Apparently.
Well, I think it's because when I first initially did it, my brain forgot that it was like stunning strike was like the 6 second. In my head, it was like an unconscious because we were out of combat. And again, I think it was just that lapse in my thought process for half a second. It was like, oh, I'll stun strike him, and you'll be like, oh
That's
no.
6 seconds.
And then after that happened, and we initiated combat. You got some more strikes on him. You probably did the smartest gosh darn thing.
Yep.
Because I gotta tell you, like, the guards that were there were not that difficult.
But it's getting guards that get more guards that get more guards to get the town.
And so you probably did the smartest thing you could.
As soon as he was like came close, I was like, suggestion.
There was another guard that was walking back. That was just one of the guards doing the patrols around.
Because there was a loud boom, bang, and
he heard it from
explosion.
the meteor. So he was like, dashed towards the door, got there, and then he did his suggestion.
I did suggestion. I was like, hey, I suggest that you just go and tell the rest of the guards that everything's fine and just something just fell. Which is a simple, easy to follow command, and I was just like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. So that's what I had to focus on. And it worked.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys got really lucky on that.
Yeah. So he went back and told the other guard that everything was fine as we
You
continued.
inflicted wounds.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of wounds.
Right,
Yeah,
because this is
you
where we
did
turn all our
that.
attention to big bad guard. But
Yeah.
now I assume this was the worst guard that we were going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
4v1. 4v1.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying is like is like in my head I was like, okay, if like that second guard gets there and like sees it, he's gonna tell that third guard there to go get more guards.
So 4v6, 7, 8, 9.
Exactly. You did the best thing by just cutting that off.
Oh
Right.
yeah, it was
Nice.
And then after that it was just the big guy and then two other guards.
Right.
It was
That
the
was
big
it.
guy, Kyle.
Right.
Into his face.
I did Fury of Blows, which took him down. Chunk. You did Inflict Wounds.
Which took him down a chunk.
You had thrown
More meteors at him.
And then Kyle just goes, all right, big smite and blow. Bah!
He just literally just dumped some like burning into it. So he's like axe on fire, right into the face. Just. It was great. It was horrifying.
Right. So then we got rid of him, and another guard showed up in the doorway. And was like,
Which you
what the
guys,
heck?
you guys beat up, and I still had 2 meteors left. So by the time I got to my turn, I did my last 2 meteors right into his eyes, and just.
Yeah.
For the when was the acrobatics? Was
That was-
Oh, that was with that second
Yeah.
guard.
So you.
Because it was, that guard was standing in a doorway, and right in front of him was Kyle's character.
Mr. Moon.
They were blocking the way, and so I thought, it's like, oh, let's see if I can do an acrobatics to get through the doorway and behind them so I can get advantage.
And even with disadvantage on the acrobatics check,
He's some kind of ninja turtle.
still cleared it.
Yeah,
So made our way through, flanked, and was like, blah,
right. So then we ran into a third guard.
who did not last long.
No, he did
Yeah.
not. Well, partially because he's an archer, so he had to back up.
Well, because he had run in to be like, what's going on? And then was like, because you gotta remember, there's like walls. Like, he
Yeah.
couldn't see
It's a house.
in to shoot anybody because he was first behind the door, and then he goes in and he's like, oh no. Like,
Right, and then that's where Kyle swiftly came in again and was like, smashy smashy with my axie!
Yeah, and more like cut off your head. With
Yeah,
my
just-
axe. Just decapitated him.
Right.
So then that only left one other person in the house.
Good old little maid lady.
Which, I mean, to be fair, I did say no witnesses.
You
Alright.
said no witnesses.
I thought
And-
it'd be a little more humane than what you did. What did you do?
I walked right over, and as a turtle, I have claws. And I usually particularly think of them as like the longer, like, turtle claws. So just walked over, was like, sorry, babe, no witnesses, just Wolverined her by just.
I thought you were going to snap her neck. Just walk over and just go, pap!
Which made Ren just
Vomit.
vomit.
I've done terrible things, but I've never eviscerated someone's brain by stabbing claws through
Well,
their
I
chin.
think it's because I don't know if snapping someone's neck like that counts as just a normal strike.
It'd be flavor.
Okay, see, because I would almost see that as almost like a grapple check, because you have to essentially
You're
grab
monk.
someone.
I would probably have had you do an athletics check.
See, and that's what I thought might happen.
But to be honest, like, she was a maid.
I know, she
You
was a
would've-
maid.
Like, the chances of you not killing her in like one hit, where if you rolled a nat 1.
Right, and I didn't want to risk it. I was like, okay, how many hits can I do? All right, cool. I'll just do them straight up hits.
Yeah.
And this is where I wanted to emphasize that Kralik is not like Bill Bays is this friendly little dude, yeah, but Kralik is dark. Like he has a backstory, a tragic backstory.
I've already thought of like 3 other ways you could have done it with your monk fist that you didn't have to eviscerate her fucking brain.
Flavor.
Yeah, flavor of blood. Gross.
I dug it.
My character thought it was neat.
Ren did not. Pretty sure Mr. Moon was just like, okay, that's fine. Ren was the only one who was like, oh my god, have some decency. So then,
This is the guy who would just.
Hey,
Now, this is something that I kept trying to point out was, especially with, what's his face, the Dragonborn that hired us, and you guys are like, we're businessmen, we don't need to do this. Like, when was the last time you guys walked the street and dealt with the common folk? And that's all that Kralik does, is he deals with common folk. So he's just like, gotta get your hands
Probably
dirty.
a little more desensitized.
so you say that, but when was the last time that Crowley burned down a house full of people in it?
Burning down the
I know,
house.
probably at some point when I killed that whole town with
That was
him.
not you, that was him. So,
It helped.
so after that, we had some time. You looked out and saw everyone there. Oh no, was that?
That was,
No, that was you. You looked out.
yeah, I think I
Had
saw
you look
them.
out.
Because you guys were moving bodies around and prepping
Yeah.
boxes for kidnapping.
I was moving bodies around so I could just firebolt and just like, or it was technically firebolt and just burn everything, just be like melt them, burn them, char them, no.
So
You're
we were
basically like,
this
no
is what-
bodies. Like,
right, so you're getting rid of the bodies.
you can have the bodies next time. Sorry. And I'm
We
like,
had
whatever.
Mr. Moonfog, because I can never remember how to pronounce his actual
Aegis.
person. No, that's his changeling, but the human
Oh, yeah.
one, it's like, I always just call him Dave.
It's Mr. Moonfog.
Mr. Moonfog. Mr. Moonfog and Guinevere was prepping boxes, getting them all ready for, all right, if we get these kids, we got to put them in these boxes quickly. And so we're just like, all right, there's kids out there, how do we get them inside? And then this discussion became, we were just like, all right, why don't we just say it like, pretend that we're the maid, go ahead, come in, lunch is ready, and they'll come inside, we'll grab them, put them in the boxes. All right, who could do a girl voice?
And my character
None of us!
Yes.
tried
Y'all
and
tried.
fail.
And my try.
I am
he
lady
really
voice.
Tried. It was just more like he was talking to Krellick like that.
Just kind of like,
I wasn't even looking
is
at
this a
them.
good voice?
I was just listening. I was like, that's bad. I don't even need to see that's bad.
Now, because at this point, we still think that Moonfog is a
human.
human. So it was just like, man, if only we could change our voice, just change something, change thing about us, about our voices.
And then
And
I
I
was
was
like,
like-
all right, I guess I'm doing this.
Yeah,
Because-
there was a little bit of player metagame there.
It, like-
Gee, if only we had
Well,
somebody who could
I was gonna-
change.
I was gonna say
Change
if I was gonna do it one more time. If he did not say anything, I was gonna just roll a performance and go for
To
it.
be fair, he's new, so we were trying to be like, you have that ability,
Right.
don't
Right.
forget.
Right.
Which is why I was
I want
pushing
even.
it.
That's why even I at one point would be like, yes, if only somebody could
Change.
And I like looked right at him.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Right. So then this is where he reveals to us that he is a changeling. And he's like, oh, okay. And then turned into the maid. It was like, poof, I am maid now. And we're like, do it.
I was just doing the thing, and then I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Oh, what the?
Yeah.
So, yeah. We threw some threw an okay
Yeah.
performance.
The first roll that he did was just like barely below the DC
Suspicion.
that I had for it, so I kind of I kind of made it like you can clear your voice and try again. So
Which he did. He did a lot better.
Which he did better.
Right.
With DC.
Good thing this old man's slow, because those kids, the first boy was like, I'm going in the food! And then immediately it was just, hello, child. And up, gagged,
Right.
in the box.
Because as the maid, he still has the same strength as his normal self, which is very strong.
It's a
So
20.
he scoops up the boy, and then
I gagged.
you gag him, and then you guys put him in the box. And the girl's trailing behind, not as fast. So then she pops to the door, and then
You are
I
nat
nat 20'd. And so with that nat 20, I scoop her up, gag her, and tie her up, and put her in the box in a swift motion. Just
Yeah.
We
A nice little
quickly then closed the boxes, had them carry out. I waited. I was like, we're doing this. I have to do this. So, being my subclass of school vacation, I can over-channel, and I did the most overpowered over-channel because it's a fireball. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a fireball at level, I said 6?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was, over-channel means you do maximum damage. So I was going to do 66, so that's 6 damage, and 33 on a save, which is really good. So I waited for the guy to get to the door, and I was like, and no witnesses. And I targeted in between, so like that entire radius was the bodies were just going to disintegrate. I already charred the bodies, but I wanted them to the explosion to just ash. And then I hit the old man, technically.
By the way, I love that the old man made a DC of 18.
Yeah, what did he roll?
Because you said he didn't fail the DC for the fireball.
You said he succeeded.
Not for the fireball.
Yeah.
For the scrying.
No. You said he succeeded on the. He only took 33 points of damage.
Oh, I rolled higher than an 18.
You rolled an 18 or 19 or 20?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sorry.
It's
Did
one of
he
those things
die?
where
Yes.
Okay, I was like, I scryed on him. I didn't get
the
any.
long pause.
Yes.
I was like, I scryed. I didn't get any feedback.
I just love that he made the deck save as an old man, but then still dies.
I'm going to make it.
Yeah, the dice just had it on that one because I think it was.
How much health do they have?
He was just like.
He was just an old man. He wasn't anything
Yeah,
special.
yeah.
I was worried he was going to be some
I know
like,
you were.
like some
I know you were,
sorcerer
which
or
is
something.
Kind of what I wanted you to think too, but.
Right, like when he picked up the cane, it was like, oh no, it's his staff.
It's his staff. Okay, I need to be able to counter. I was like, counterspell
Yeah.
needs to be ready. I need to be able
No,
to see
he
this
was
guy.
just like a regular old.
So he
guy.
just got vaporized.
Yeah.
And then I caught the house on fire. Obviously, 66 points of damage to a wooden structure.
Yep. And then once that point started happening,
Bit of basic.
obviously while this was going on, I had like my guards around the city, like
Moving.
doing their patrols.
We got so lucky.
You guys got so lucky because I rolled a percentile dice because it was 50 and under one way, 50 and over the other way, but twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, just depending on who was closest as far as guards were go. And of course, you got the one guard that just loves you because you gave him this wonderful
little
elixir,
blue pill, vial.
little blue vial.
What exactly is in the vial?
I don't know.
He
Was in
literally
that one.
said anything.
It's like
Yeah.
Windex or something.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where he just fills it with anything he sees. Like, I think at one point I mentioned sometimes it's just ale.
It's just lamp oil.
Yeah,
Like
it's
blue lamp
just
oil.
a number of things.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's just crushed up beetles at one point.
Yeah, because you sounded like Beetlejuice, so it was like the juice of beetles.
Yeah.
So
You know what? I didn't think of it. Yeah, I guess I kind of do sound like Beetlejuice.
A little bit.
So you did your thing. He believed. We're just out
We're just
there.
like, there's a fire, and he's like, holy crap, there's a fire! Get out of here! And we're like, we're getting out of here, and he was like, I gotta go.
Perfect. It's like Ocean's 12 up in this. So immediately we get out there and I go, hey, guys, you two, you did great. We'll see you back there. And I was like, haste. So I jumped in the cart, and that means Mr. Moon, it just was able to go. Bonus action,
90
like
feet?
movement, action, second action from haste. So 90 feet every 6 seconds. So that's just busting. So we made it back in pretty quick time.
Yeah.
Enough time for me to
Scold Void.
get
one more
back.
time.
Well, get back and say you're gonna you're gonna explain some things when we get back. Get to Void and go, hey Void, I need some help. If you could expedite some paperwork for me, I need to get out of here with these 2 packages. If we could do the whole shabam so I can get out without any issues, that would be great.
Also, some sleep potions.
Oh yeah, also some sleep potions if we have any. You want to take from stock? It's my stock. Like that was my thought. He's like, oh, we're gonna take from the business of stock.
He was trying to make sure that
He was.
He was being
He
thorough.
was making sure it wasn't a test.
He did. It was more or less like if it had been something that wasn't from the business, like if it had been like his personal stock, you'd have no issue. He wouldn't have even asked. But because it was
And that's what
business.
to me and Ren, it was like I own this business. Technically, I own everything. I own the uniform you're wearing, so I'll take it.
and Void was willing to do
Anything.
anything to get back in the boss's good graces.
So
he,
did it? I paid. He did a good job. He expedited it. We got in and out real fast. Got all the paperwork and all the stuff for the boxes. So
Got the kids to drink the potions.
Ren was. I used my other level of suggestions. Drink it,
they
drink
just
it.
Drank that right up.
It was great. Now they're knocked out for however long you deem. Probably a few hours,
Yeah, probably a few hours.
which is fine. That's enough time.
Yeah.
At least get them out of town.
Exactly. So yeah, I was proud of Void. I gave him, I was like, you can keep your money. Here's some extra money. We were never here.
Oh, great! Random coins that just appeared out of the sky.
Also, if you find Derek, send them to me.
Right.
Let's see, and because you and I were slower. You and I were traveling together like nonchalantly, like we're like la la, nothing going on. I had stopped into a shop, and then we ran across a character who was just as bad as Billy Bays.
Well, I continued to walk because I was like, you can catch up.
I'm not dealing with this.
Right, and that was your friend, good old was it Polly Pop?
Yeah, Polypop.
Polypop.
Little halfling lady Polly Pop, who was just as bad as Bill Bays.
I tried to scry on you to be like, where are you?
Now I
He
have to.
picked the worst time.
Right?
Now I have to. I mean, granted, you tried.
I did.
And you failed.
Well, you succeeded. I didn't fail. You were too strong.
If he would have succeeded, though, you literally just would have seen like two Billy Bays talking to
You,
each
Yeah.
you would have had to make your own wisdom.
I would have been like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to burn him and make turtle soup.
Now I have to ask: was Polly Pop just completely ad-libbed at that point?
Yes.
That's great. That was some great
No,
ad lib.
I do have a merchant in mind, but I just kind of went with her at the moment.
You're just like, this feels right.
I was like, I'm just gonna go with this. Yeah.
I mean, we all loved it. I loved it. Ren hated it. I loved it.
Right, because I had stopped because since I had sold all my vials of the potions,
Right.
essentially it was like I need more vials just so that I can keep my business going. So she gave me a box of what, 18, 12, something like.
By the way, 18 vials for 12 gold.
I know she overcharged me, but
Oh,
again,
yeah, she did.
You got Billy Bays.
You got Polly
Yeah,
Popped.
he got Polly Pop, man.
we'll see.
Don't ever say that.
That was it was pretty much what I had made from the last one. So
Yeah, you did, but I mean, the first one was just a front. We were faking it.
right. I mean, again, I wasn't in costume. I wasn't going to cause too much trouble. We were trying to get the heck out of there. This was the last opportunity I saw as far as getting more vials before we left.
You're lucky Ren wasn't there. Would have been like, all right, I'm not dealing with this.
It was either that or I was going to have to ask you for some vials. Like, hey,
That's
why
why
were
I'm
you-
really glad that the scrying was not successful.
I would have done some things. I would have, I probably would have slowed her and just take it. She would have been like, wait, just
so
kidding. Go.
I mean, if she was just sitting there talking with Styles Billy Bays, then maybe she would have just actually talked like a normal
Exactly, but her movement would have been sort of like, just take it, just go. We don't have time for this. So I'm glad it happened the way it did. You made your way back.
Made our way back. I caught up with Yanavir and was just like, I got some stuff. And you're like, that was a lot of stuff that just happened. They're like, yep. You're like, cool.
I'm like, meh, whatever.
You made it back to the carriage.
At one
Yep.
point, I considered doing face step, but I was like, I don't want to draw attention because, well, considering I'm a winter elf.
Oh yeah, so you would have frozen stuff.
Yeah, so that whole thing, but anyone that would have seen me would have been terrified, and I didn't want to draw attention.
Yeah, that's probably
So I
smart.
was just like, hold on to that.
Yeah.
So we made it back to the
The
carriage.
and then we're like, all right, we should probably leave. So as we go back up to the gate, and the guards always have to check carts as they come out,
I have it ready so I can turn him invisible again and make myself. I was like, we're gonna do this again, huh?
the door cracks open and my turtle head pops out, and the guard sees it's Bill Bays.
Just
I'm
get
like,
out.
And that
hey
guard
guys.
just wants him gone.
It
The
was like,
guard's
hey, it's
"Get
Bill
out."
Bays. We're
Which
on
is
our way
so
out.
disgusting.
Get out.
So it's just so weird because we were there for what, like 3 hours tops, 4 hours.
Yeah, probably right.
So
around
we
there.
were like, oh yeah, we're here. 4 hours later, we're gone. Like,
But you guys had said that you guys were just picking up.
Yeah,
Great,
but
then
I
I
mean,
said we were
leave.
going to stay maybe a day tops.
yeah, that's all. But still, like 4 hours. Like, damn, that was
Oh,
fast.
I don't remember you saying.
Yeah, no, we were like, oh
well.
yeah, we're gonna be here for like a
That's
day
my
if
fault
need
then.
be. So yeah, just out of there. We're just out, and then we completed technically objective 1. We had to complete objective 1A.
Right,
Yes.
because 1B would be to make sure that the heroes essentially come to us.
Which is not hard.
No, especially we have the kids, but we also have people that, like, almost all of us are proficient with forgery tools. So it's one of those things where we can easily send out ransom notes. We could send out, we can make it seem like it's from the noble family, saying, "Please help us, our children are gone."
I mean, they're probably gonna do that.
They'll do
anyways.
it on their own, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I can also have delivery. I can also do sending to Void and be like, hey, go deliver, like, forge up something. Don't fuck up or I'll kill you. go give it to the gnomes.
Or deliver
See-
something that points us in this direction
Yeah.
for the heroes to
Now, just metagaming a little bit. Like there are certain objectives that I've set for you guys, and it didn't happen the way I expected. I kind of tried to be like get their attention as much as possible.
Oh, I mean, technically we
And
did.
technically, it's not like you guys stealthed, which would have been like the worst possible.
No, we
thing to do.
got in, we got the kids, and then exploded a building.
True.
It
So,
was pretty good.
that was the last known location of the kids. It should be
Right.
pretty obvious. There could have been burnt to death.
But
who
you
knows?
guys threw me off quite a bit, and I think my own dice rolls threw me off.
Oh,
quite a
yeah.
bit, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have gone like I left it when I wrote it very sort of open possibilities. So things just didn't go the way I thought they would, but that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys did great.
Yeah.
Congrats.
The villains are doing all right.
Yep.
Yep, so now that means the next session we just have to figure out how to get the heroes towards us.
I already have ideas on how we're gonna get the jump on them.
That's fine. And then we got to figure out a way to defeat the Almighty Five. We may need to talk to someone to figure out who they might be.
Yep. I mean, I'm hoping, our contact will have some information about them at this point since we've done one part.
You're right.
And where are we taking them to exactly?
Take them back to the manor.
To the manor.
They want to, because it's a secluded area. We have a literal house advantage if we do it right.
Would you say it's a home advantage?
Yes, it's a home field advantage.
I mean,
It's a good con.
You guys basically have the home ground, so you can
We're gonna.
kind of plan or
Booby traps.
If I had a different spell.
you know, Home Alone it. Stop paint cans.
I am one of the Almighty Five. Paint can.
I mean, if I had the spell, I don't think I could have learned
Tarantula.
it. But Glyph of Warding. Glyph of Warding would be great because you can have it activate during the presence of someone good, and it does massive damage. So it'd been like, we're here to walk past a tree.
Now it should be noted that next session will be slightly different.
Yes.
Oh God, we're gonna have it. Oh, Ren's not gonna be happy with this.
No, we won't spoil too much, but it's definitely going to have a
More chaos.
little bit more chaotic. But the goal is going to be the ultimate. It's still going to be the same thing. My guess is we're going to get there, and then Mr. Dragonborn's going to be like, "I hired a little bit more insurance while you guys are coming."
And you'll find out tomorrow. When this episode airs, you'll be watching tomorrow. We're back at 7:30. So that pretty much covers everything. Hopefully the villainy continues and we're able to take down those dastardly Almighty Five. I bet they wear nice clothes and smell nice. I hate them. I actually can't really say much. Ren looks nice and smells nice.
Flames on the side of my face.
So that is it. So as I said, this is going to be coming out, and tomorrow we'll be back at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch. Make sure to, if you missed out, watch the VOD that was posted on Monday. If you want to watch and find all the hilarity, it'll be there. It's a good con.
It's a good con.
And then make sure to also check out Detention, which came out
Yes.
yesterday. So, and we're going to be talking. Well, in that episode, we talked about
Clerics.
my favorite
Domains of the Clerics.
Domains of the Clerics. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this, and leave a comment. Make sure to critical smash that subscribe button and ring-a-ling that bell so you can be up to date on whatever we're doing.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Bell of the Dead.
Toll that bell of the dead. Yes, great. Toll that bell so you can keep up with how much we kill. So that covers it on my end. Anything you guys want to say at the end?
It's a good
No.
con.
It's
guys
a
are
good.
wonderful.
It's a good Constitution save.
Hey!
Don't give me away,
It's a-
face punt makers.
All right. See you next time.